Yesterday, I listened to a podcast with Nate Green, who works the fitness and health sector, and he talked about his early beginnings with his online business and blogs, and how much easier it was to get started in 2006 compared to now. And that had me thinking of back in the day when I was working the fitness and health sector, and when back in the late 90s, my most income came from teaching aerobics classes or giving workshops. That was what I did to pay for university. And back in the day, there was a new course that was created that would have turned me into a personal trainer for 5,000 marks, I think it was, in about a year, I think. Don't hold me on the details. It's been a long time and I haven't thought about it in years. But back then, I was on the last stretch of my teacher training, so I didn't really want to go into the personal training sector, and it was a lot of money for me. I didn't really have that kind of money or any kind of money. And so I declined this opportunity. But thinking about things now, I'm usually not one to regret decisions I made, but currently I'm trying to think of alternatives for what I'm doing. My current job is lacking meaning and purpose for me. It feels a little bit artificial. And I am thinking about alternatives, how to make money, how to do something that I feel has more value. And I was thinking about going back into teaching sports. And then I remembered this course I never took and this education I would have had. And I was kind of stuck in a little bit thinking how this would have affected my life here in Hanover, maybe. Because in the last 15 years, I've been trying to find a job that works well, that pays well, that is safe. And fitness training or personal training could have been a wonderful side hustle. And I would have been there in the early days of the online marketing if I had known about that back then. But who knows? There are a lot of ifs and whens, which makes it stupid to think about it. But still, I was thinking about right place, right time. The course, when it was offered to me, was the wrong place and the wrong time. But maybe 5 years later, I would have been much more open and interested in it. And even after I finished university in 2005 and I didn't know where to go and what to do, there it might have been a good idea or a chance that I would have jumped upon. But by then I didn't even think about it anymore. I don't think I remembered it at all, that there was a way of becoming a personal trainer to have a side hustle and that I didn't need to make that much money in one job, which I never did. I've always worked more jobs. And back then I was still teaching aerobics classes, but I wasn't doing much more on top of that. And yeah, I'm thinking about like right time, right place, wrong place kind of things, and how often these things happen and how lucky we get about the right time, right place situations that happen to us. But wondering how many of those were also wrong time, wrong place, where we just didn't jump at situations because at that point in time, it didn't seem necessary. But it would have benefited us maybe later. Just thinking about this. What about you? Did you have some wrong time, wrong place opportunities that later you were like, now I could have used that? Well, thank you all for listening. Let's talk in comments. Bye bye.